soldiers with a longing for home. And when we've seen it all, around the bend comes something quite unknown. God of mercy, God of freedom, God of known and unknown things, rest assured I will travel to higher ground next hurricane. And in the rhythm of the locomotive, our toiling human dreams, spin them together and you just might find things are not quite what they seem. And when you fear your life's invisible, just breathe in and breathe out until the essence of love has filled you and there is no room for doubt. God of mercy, God of motion, God of known and unknown things, rest assured I will travel to higher ground next hurricane. Perhaps the point of it all is to ask in dreams and out loud, how might I love before my life is over? How might I love right now? I got a call from a friend I thought I lost back in '95. He said, it's good to hear you, how you doing? I said, it's good to be alive. It's so good to be alive. God of mercy, God of compassion, God of known and unknown things, rest assured I will travel to higher ground next hurricane. A night of traveling delivers me to a town I've never known. The sign says welcome, I say thank you. I believe I'm welcomed home. I believe I'm welcomed home.
Mama gave me roots, Daddy gave me wings. Mama gave me breath, Dad taught me to sing. Mama gave me air, Daddy gave me a feather. Mama knew the seasons, Dad knew the weather. Mama gave me roots, Daddy gave me wings. Mama gave me breath, Dad taught me to sing. Mama gave me sun, Daddy gave me shade. Mama was light, Dad knew what darkness weighed. Dad knew what darkness weighed. I am a head on an upside down tree. I am a branch in my family. Mama gave me roots, Daddy gave me wings. Mama
its paths adorn. I dream a world of such I dream my world. I dream a world where all will know sweet freedom's way, where greed no longer saps the soul, no avarice blights our day. Of such I dream my world. A world I dream where black or white, whatever race you be, will share the bounties of the earth, and every man is free. Where wretchedness will hang its head, and joy like a pearl attends the needs of all mankind. Of such I dream my world.
are my sunshine, my only sunshine.
You make me happy when skies are gray.
You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. The other night, dear, while I was sleeping, I thought I held you in my arms. And then I saw that I was mistaken, and I hung my head and cried. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. Everybody sing! You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. Please don't take my sunshine away. Please don't take my sunshine away.
You love those final flourishes, Luke. I've noticed that about you. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Unity Columbine Spiritual Center, where, centered in God, we celebrate a world of harmony, peace, and abundance for all. And please join Bettman and Halpin, also known as Stephanie and Luke. They do have first names, in our first Joy song. Please stand.
It seems to me that there's a shadow on the sun, but I keep on saying that sunny days will come again. They will come again. It seems to be a tragic contradiction in the world of right and wrong and who belongs and the meaning in the name of God. Here we go. The name of God. This part's easy. But hey, what can I say? I just wanna love you. I just wanna love you. It's all I can do. And hey, don't run away. I just wanna love you. I just wanna love you. And love you I do. It seems to me that we are swimming in the dark, and someone started the rumor of a shark somewhere. There's a shark somewhere. So here we are clinging to the pillar of a pier. The rumor is the killer. There's no sharks here. It's just fear. It's just fear. And hey, what can I say? I just wanna love you. I just wanna love you. It's all I can do. And hey, don't run away. I just wanna love you. I just wanna love you. And love you I do. I seem to recall that somebody said the thing itself. So fear not, fear not, fear not. And hey, what can I say? I just wanna love you, I just wanna love you. It's all I can do.
And hey, don't run away. I just wanna love you. I just wanna love you.
Love you, I do. One more time.
And hey, what can I say? I just wanna love you. I just wanna love you.
It's all I can do. And hey,
Don't run away. I just wanna love you. I just wanna love you.
and love you, I do. Thank you. Right. Thank you for the beautiful music. And good morning, Columbine. If all the kids can come up with me. Yay, there's Lexi too. Oh my gosh, we had some birthdays this weekend and all kinds of stuff going on. Yay, welcome, welcome, everybody. So, a couple things that I want to talk about today. I think some of you know, I don't know. Anyways, I have a place, a condo in Maui, in Lahaina, and it is still standing. And I was there all last week. I left the night before the fire. And yeah, my heart, probably gonna cry. And I actually got this. It's a Kuan Yin, which is the male-female entity of just compassion. Heart, hands reaching out to all to hear everything. And I got it at this precious Chinese woman that I go every time I'm in Lahaina. Anyways, that museum did not make it, and I hope she did. I don't even know. But anyways, I just want to let you guys know that our hearts, I know you guys are with me, but just really with Lahaina and with Maui. So anyways, on that note, and then, see if I can remember the other things I was going to say because that's so emotional. Oh, yes. So I'm leaving tomorrow morning to go to a big convention. It's on an airplane, and I'm going all by myself, which I've never done before, so it's exciting. And I'm going to the Parliament of World Religions, which is just so exciting. I have a lot of background with world religions and study and a seminary degree with that. So I'm super excited to represent Unity and to represent Spiritual Playdate, which is a new curriculum for children that I'm a part of. That's really exciting for everyone, everywhere, and all religions. So that's what I'm doing this week, and then I'll be back next Sunday. So yeah, so a lot going on. And if there are any middle school or high school kids out here or anyone that you know, we have incredible teachers that are downstairs waiting for them so they can join us too. We have a couple middle school kids up here. And I also think, is school starting this week for you guys? Yeah? Yeah? For you guys, school starting this week? Not quite yet? Some is next week and some is this week. You don't want to talk about it? We don't want to talk about it. We'll talk about it later. So I think, so we can hold everyone with new experiences. I know we have a lot of sixth graders this year. So yeah, so hold everyone with that. And now you can bless us out.
We love you. We bless you.
We appreciate you. We see the Christ you are.
Sometimes in our lives, we all have pain, we all have sorrow, but if we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean swallow your pride if I have things you need to borrow for. No one can fill those of your needs that you won't let show. So just call on me, brother, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you'll understand. We all need somebody to lean on. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Lean on me when you're not strong. I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on.
Now we settle ourselves, taking a deep breath and just getting centered in our space here. And with music from Stephanie and Luke, and then a message from Reverend Sue, we will do our prayer and meditation.
And so I invite you to pray with me. Take a deep, cleansing breath, knowing that we are the flow of life. With the breath, we are reminded of the perfect order of the universe. And so, sweet Spirit, today we celebrate. We celebrate every soul in this room, every soul online, everyone that is coming to get spiritually fed, to celebrate their oneness with each other, to celebrate the love that's in our hearts, to celebrate the blessings that we've received, to celebrate all that we're able to give, to celebrate our ability to raise funds and prepare over 34,000 meals yesterday for Colorado Feeding Kids, to celebrate that we see needs in the world and we're able to respond to those needs out of love. Knowing that people can lean on us, that we can lean on each other, and we can lean on Spirit for whatever is needed in a moment, in this day, in this time. It sometimes seems that the needs of the world are exhaustible, but we have all that we need when we come together in community and celebrate and use our own unique gifts and service. And so, Spirit, this morning we celebrate that. We acknowledge that. We are grateful for that. Grateful for all we can give, because we know that the act of giving brings a sense of joy to our lives, that we were made to give. And so we give our blessings to everyone that is needing blessing right now. Everyone on our prayer list, every prayer request in our prayer box, everybody that lives on the island of Maui. We give our blessings, we give our love, and we hold them in this sacred space of knowing oneness in this world. And so I invite us now into a time of meditation where we align ourselves with that knowing, with that awareness of our oneness, with that our awareness of our oneness with Spirit. At the end of our meditation, our beautiful music by Stephanie and Luke will gently lead us out. But for now, let's rest together in the stillness.
the side of love, standing on the side of love, and I am walking hand in hand with love, walking hand in hand with love. I am standing on the side of love, standing on the side of love, and I am walking hand in hand with love, walking hand in hand with love. It doesn't matter what love don't know. The darkness shows the light, so the light it can grow. It doesn't matter what things we think we feel, as long as we remember what is real. Love is real, and I am standing on the side of love, standing on the side of love, and I am walking hand in hand with love, walking hand in hand with love. I am standing on the side of love, standing on the side. I'm standing on the side of. I am walking hand in hand with love, walking hand in hand with love, walking hand in hand with love, walking hand in hand with love.
And we love you too, Stephanie and Luke. They're going to be doing our 30th anniversary concert here in November. It's going to be so much fun. Yeah, some favorites of ours. We have another favorite who has come back to speak here. I'm so pleased to introduce our guest speaker, Reverend Mike Masando Hiroka. He's a CSL ordained, Center for Spiritual Living ordained minister. He's not currently in full-time ministry, but still guest speaking, and we love him here. He hasn't been back, I think it's been a year. Has it been about a year? Yeah, so super excited. So give a very warm welcome to Reverend Masando.
What's up, everybody? It's good to see y'all again. Yeah, a lot has changed in my life since I was with you last. My wife and I welcomed into our family. We have a baby boy. He's 9 months old now. And boy, has it been an adventure since then. I think I've just gotten used to being tired all the time. He's going through a sleep regression right now where he's deciding to wake up at 4 a.m. every single day, just for whatever reason. I think he's learning that he can stand up now, so his crib is like, he just like stands up at 4 a.m. and he's like, grabs the bars like he's in some sort of jail, and then he doesn't know how to get back down and just cries until we go and gets him. I mean, it's just, it's crazy. But we have been just so in love. I don't know if I've ever felt love like this, and you know, that's kind of been my full-time job. I'm no longer doing full-time ministry, but you know, I'm got a 9 to 5 in the corporate world, so I can provide for my son a little bit more. It's kind of expensive to live out here these days, y'all. And so, you know, just enjoying my time with him so much. And his name is Takeo, which is a Japanese name that we just resonated with since day one. And it has a couple meanings. It means like brave warrior, but also means strong like bamboo. And boy, has he had to live up to his name already in these 9 months. Not only is he just going through being a baby is no joke, y'all. Like, they go through so much. It's like, welcome to the world, welcome to teething, and, all these things that you have to go through. But he also, when he was about 5 months old, he got COVID from a family member, just a few weeks before he was eligible to get the vaccine. So, of course, all of us also got COVID. And it was probably the sickest I've ever been in my entire life. We were all just sick together for a couple weeks there. And then shortly after that, we found out that he had a congenital disease. He had congenital glaucoma, which is when your pressure builds up in one of your eyes. He has these large eyes. We're like, that's so beautiful. And one of them just looked a little bit bigger. And I was like, oh, I don't know if that's right. But it turns out he had this congenital disease, and he had to get eye surgery a couple weeks after we found out. And so he has just been such a trooper. Actually, do you guys want to see a picture of him? This is my favorite. I totally understand why people do this now. I'm like, yeah, I'm that guy. But here he is. He is just adorable. And here's a picture of him right after surgery, or a little eye patch. I'm totally this dad right now. This is hilarious. Who needs a wallet-sized photo when you have an iPad? But yeah, he really was an inspiration for my talk and my talk title today, because being a parent is just crazy, and he's been through so much already. But he's met it all, with this sense of joy. This kid is just always happy, and you would never know he's been through what he's been through. Even when he had that eye patch, as you could see, the kid just had a smile on his face, he didn't even know what was going on. We had to give him 12 eye drops a day for a month, and that was hard. But you would never know that he's been through so much. And I was just I look at this kid, and it's weird to be I'm so proud of this baby. What can a baby do in 9 months of life? But I'm so proud of him. I take so much pride in who this kid is already. And it really was inspiration for this talk, and this talk title for today is just to take pride. And it got me asking myself, I have all this pride for this kid. How often do I take pride in my own life? In that same way, how often do I really look at my life and take pride in who I am and what I've done in this world? I know for a lot of us, we just kind of go through life. We're doing the best we can. Some days are good. Other days are hard. I think all of us on the spiritual path, we try to come here to better ourselves in some way. But it's difficult to be able just to really take pride in who we are. I think so often we just miss it, right? And it's not the kind of pride that I'm talking about that can build some sort of arrogance or kind of this pridefulness of who we are. And I want to distinguish that. It's not one of the pride, one of those 7 deadly sins kind of pride. It'd be weird to give a talk on the deadliest of the 7 deadly sins. I think it's considered. Welcome to church. Going to talk about this deadly sin of pride and why it's good. So I do want to distinguish this. Dr. John Amadeo, he's a psychotherapist, and he talks about pride, that kind of arrogant toward of pride, in this way. He says, pride can be a slippery slope towards arrogance, which is why Christianity viewed it as one of the 7 deadly sins. Coaches may drive players to win at all costs, including cheating, Coach Belichick, in order to bask in the pride of glory of winning. Political leaders have often mobilized national or ethnic pride to invade other countries. Much of our misery in the world stems from pride run amok. Brimming with pride about a religious or political ideology. We justify atrocities in the name of God or truth or justice. A common connotation of pride is clinging to a haughty, selfish, boastful self-view. We may pride in the status of our bank account, our academic degrees, or how fit we are. I'm fitting into my dad bod these days. Our sense of identity becomes defined by what we do rather than who we are. Our perceived accomplishments and status feed a prideful self-image, but they don't really nourish us. And so that kind of pride, I just want to distinguish, that kind of pride is actually incredibly fragile, right? It doesn't have the ability, like like Dr. Amadeo says, to really nourish us, to really give us something deeper than, building our identity on these things that are constantly changing, right? Or if our sense of self-worth comes from how much money we make, or what our accomplishments are, or things that can be taken away, right? Or that can fall apart. We build our sense of identity on these castles made of sand, and then we do everything we can to protect that. I think we see that. I've seen that in myself, and I see that going on in the world all of the time, right? But what I realize is that kind of pride actually breeds insecurity, right? It actually takes all of our power that we have as a sense of ourself, and it gives it away. It puts it into the hands of others, and it's always on the verge of being threatened, right? So it takes this stance of, I'm constantly going to be protecting this thing that is so fragile because it's not built on something that's actually real, right? But taking pride, in the way that I want to talk about today, it asks ourselves to hold this beingness, just this humanness, with a sense of dignity, a sense of self-worth, and taking pride in all we are, like all the beautiful, all the ugly, all the things we want to show to the world and social media, all of our best pictures and best angles that we have of ourselves. But it asks us to take it all and to take pride in that. Everything that we are, all that we have been, and all that we are becoming at the same time. And I feel like most of the time, I just miss out on that. Like I rarely stop to simply take pride in who I am. And it asks, thinking about being a dad, I know in this tradition, we like to think of this idea of God as like, we are one with it. It's kind of ethereal. It's this Hindu kind of God that's like everywhere and everything. It's ineffable. And it's not that person up in the sky. It's not that father figure that we have been taught, for so many years. But now being a dad, I'm kind of like, man, I love this kid. I love this kid more than anything. This kid, I've never felt unconditional love. I've never taken more pride in who this kid is. Granted, he's not a teenager yet, so we haven't gotten there yet. I hope I can remember his face as a 9-month-old when he's a teenager. But that kind of love, seeing myself, being seen by the eyes of the divine in a way that a parent sees their newborn child, I can get down with that kind of love. I can stand on that side of love. I can walk hand in hand with the divine in that way. We're just holding hands through life, and that dude, that ethereal being, that ineffable presence, that mother, that Kuan Yin figure of compassion, has got me, right? And sees me in this way where no matter how complicated my life has been, no matter how many poor decisions I've made in the past, no matter what I've done to make me feel ashamed of my life in some way, the opposite of whatever taking pride in your life is, that I'm being seen through the eyes of the divine in this way that is unconditional. Just like how I'm looking at my kid every day, that's how the divine views me, and how the divine views all of us. I can get down with that external sense of God as well. And so taking pride, what I'm going to invite us into this week, is to take pride in our lives in 3 specific ways that I'm going to walk us through. Taking pride in exactly who we are right now, which might be the hardest thing to do, but just right here in this moment, taking pride in who we are, which allows us then to kind of travel back in time and take pride in all we've been, and everything that's come before, all the beautiful, all the messy, all the great decisions, all the poor ones, all the things we want to brag about, and all the things we hope no one ever finds out about. Which then has this ability to take pride in everything that we're creating, which I think is the most common understanding of take pride, take pride in our work. But really allow ourselves to take pride in everything that comes from here out, even the smallest things that we do, that we can take pride in that as well. So let's start with just taking pride in who we are right now, which might be the hardest part of all of this, right? Taking pride in who we are requires that we hold ourselves with this sense of dignity, like I said before. Pema Chodron, she talks about this, and I think the way that I really learned how to do this was in my meditation practice in the Shambhala Buddhist tradition, right? The Shambhala Buddhist tradition comes out of Tibet, but really came here to Boulder, actually, and really grew here, and it was a Buddhism that was taking the Tibetan theology, but really teaching it to American hippies. But really was a type of Buddhism that was meant to be spoken specifically to our American culture, right? They even made meditation cushions for Westerners. If you see those square ones that are kind of hard, right? Those were made for Westerners because we're not used to sitting on the ground, But I love what Pema says. She comes out of that tradition of Shambhala Buddhism. This is what she said. She says, and she's talking about how we take our seat when we sit down to meditate. She says, the basic instruction starts with posture, the way our body supports us while we're meditating. We begin by being fully present in our body with awareness of our seat, our legs, our arms, our torso. We take a noble, upright, but relaxed posture, which helps us settle internally and contact a feeling of confidence and dignity within ourselves. We are claiming our warriorship, claiming our bravery, claiming a fundamental feeling of all rightness. Claiming a fundamental feeling of all rightness. I love that. I remember the first time I started hearing about this, holding myself like with a sense of dignity, it was confronting, right? I don't know if I had ever been asked to do that, to like really feel that exactly the world and myself exactly as it is right now, me living in the world, me being a human being existing on this planet Earth, like there's a fundamental feeling of all rightness at the center of that. Another way they talk to us about like when we take our seat on the meditation cushion is having a strong back and a soft front, right? This juxtaposition of a strong back and a soft front. The strong back being like being able to like actually meet the world, like that we have this body that like we can actually hold ourselves up, right? Like we have this amazing spine, right? That just like can hold, like supports the entire weight of our being, and we can hold ourselves with that sense of bravery, being able to meet the world with all of its challenges. But it's not a sense of bravery like we want to fight everybody and we have to protect that castle made of sand, because we still have this soft front, right? We still are vulnerable. We're still allowing ourselves to be seen and really letting the pains of the world in, and allowing the true aspects of ourself that we want to hide away, we let that out too. So we have this juxtaposition of having this strong back, which means like having a backbone, in the world, being able to stand up for what we believe in, to stand up for ourselves, but at the same time being, having this open-heartedness, this vulnerability, this ability to have our heart be broken open. Because when we're really open to the world, our heart will be broken. That's what it is to be human. If we're really in contact with the world, if we really if we're really feeling into the impact that wildfire had in Lahaina, like we're gonna get a little weepy. Like that's gonna break our heart. But that allows us to know that like we're staying open, and we have this strong back, which helps us remember like we're not gonna be broken by that brokenheartedness. We can have a broken heart and still walk through the world in this powerful way where we can show up with dignity and show up in a way that allows us to really be fully human and not try to block things out of our existence. I love what Jack Kornfield says. He says, we need a warrior's heart that lets us face our lives directly, our pains and limitations, our joys and our possibilities. So I love that, right? I love that, like we can take this stance of being able to meet ourselves exactly as we are right now. All of the things that we want to celebrate, all of the things that we were really proud of, all of the things we want to show off to the world. But we can also meet all of the things that we want to hide away, all of the things that we never post on social media, all of the things that we may be still embarrassed of or hold shame around, and still know that we in this moment are worthy of love. We in this moment are being seen by the eyes of the divine, and that divine presence is taking pride in who we are. that presence is somehow even standing in awe, like just truly standing in awe of the fullness of your life. And we can like hold ourselves being seen by the eyes of the divine in that way and feel that strong back and say, hey, yeah, like I can have a sense of dignity about who I am. Yeah, I've made mistakes in the past. Yeah, I may not like fully love everything that's going on right now, but like I'm human and I deserve to be on this planet just as everyone else does around me. And I'm going to hold myself with that sense of dignity and walk in a way that allows myself to be seen. I love in CSL, I love like in these spiritual communities, I'll talk to a lot of people, it's like, good to see you. And they'll say, good to be seen. Have you had someone say that to you? Or have you been one of those people to say that to someone else? Only in these spiritual communities have I heard that. And I love that because I think there's something that happens, when we're in these kinds of spiritual communities. I think there's this moment where we begin to allow ourselves to be seen in a way that we hadn't maybe before, because our identity is becoming one that's infused with a spiritual identity, and we want our most authentic selves to be seen through that, because we know our spiritual growth is somehow contingent upon that, right? Some aspect of really being true to who we are. And so I love what Ernest Holmes, he's the founder of Centers for Spiritual Living. He says, whoever you are, be proud. You are a divine idea in the mind of God. And that to me is the fundamental spiritual core of what I'm talking about here. It's like when we allow ourselves to feel into our spiritual identity as this divine idea in the mind of God, completely new, completely unique, completely having something to contribute to the world, but also kind of quirky, also filled with mistakes, also filled with things that we may not feel like is accepted in the particular societal context in which we are living, but something unique that only we can offer. That to me is taking pride in who we are. And I think that's when the first time I felt a sense of belonging, right? When I started really like embracing who I was. Brene Brown, she talks about this. She talks about the difference between belonging and fitting in. It's like, she says, belonging is being accepted for you. Fitting in is being accepted for being like everyone else. I get to be me if I belong. I have to be like you when I try to fit in. Because the true belonging only happens when we present our authentic, imperfect selves to the world. Our sense of belonging can never be greater than our level of self-acceptance, right? So in order to feel true belonging in community too, like we have to feel some sort of sense of taking pride in who we are. And so, the first spiritual practice I'm inviting us into is whether we have a formal sitting meditation practice, or our meditation practice is taking a walk or a hike through nature, or maybe it's, spending some time in the silence in the morning. They're like, the next time you sit, just to commune with whatever you consider to be the divine, that you hold yourself and you see that divine like seeing you with that sense of pride and standing in awe of who you are, this incredible miracle of life. And then beginning to hold yourself in this way where like you can also take pride in who you are, exactly as you are right now, without any qualifiers, without any other need for someone else to tell you you're good and you belong here. And this, what I have found is when I'm able to do this about my present, just personhood, I'm also able to do it with things that have come before, which is weird, right? To be able to time travel into the past. Because, what I realize is like, if I don't really embrace who I am and how I've gotten here, then everything that I'm like not really proud of from the past like just becomes this skeleton in the closet that I just want to hide away and that I really hope no one ever finds out about, right? Like there's some things that I'm super ashamed of that I wish never happened, but I know that were a part of my like learning and my journey to be here. One of the big practices that I have found that really helps with this is Brene Brown, again, she talks about this difference between shame and guilt. Has anyone heard about this difference yet? Brene Brown, she talks about the difference being, shame is a focus on self. Guilt is a focus on behavior. Shame says, I am bad. Guilt says, I did something bad. How many of you, if you did something that was hurtful to me, would be willing to say, hey, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. Guilt says, hey, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. Shame says, I'm sorry, I am a mistake. And so for me, like, this subtle distinction makes all the difference when I'm taking part in this practice of taking pride in what has been, right? Because when I'm feeling a sense of shame, I just want to hide it away. I don't want to face it. I don't want to look at it. I know that if I do, I'm going to find out that I really am the person. Like, I really am a bad person, and I'm not going to be able to ever reconcile that, right? Guilt says, hey, no, you're still good. Like, you're good. Fundamentally, you are good. You're a divine idea in the mind of God. But you may have done something that did some harm to yourself or another person, right? That's okay. You made a mistake. What's important is that you admit you made a mistake, that you learn from it, and then you do better moving forward. Guilt allows us to say, hey, I'm feeling weird right now about this thing. What is that all about? And what can I do moving forward to make that right? Shame says, hey, I did something in the past. That must mean I'm a terrible person. And if I ever admit that, or if I ever actually look at that, that's just going to reinforce this idea that I don't deserve any of the things that I really want in my life, because I am truly the person that I am telling myself I am, or that little, what I like to say, that itty-bitty shitty committee likes to tell me in my mind, you know what I mean? I have more than one, like, negative voice. I have many negative voices, as I know we all do, right? And so this idea of taking pride in our past actually, like, helps us be a more integrous, authentic human being too. Because if we're not feeling guilt, it means we also don't have the ability to feel empathy or compassion, right? If we're not feeling guilt in some way, it means we're a sociopath. That's because we don't have, if we're not feeling guilt, it means we can't feel empathy or compassion either. We can't feel what it is to be in the shoes of another person, right? And so guilt can be a good thing. I'm not talking about the guilt of, like, original sin, or this guilt that you will never make up, you know, that you're supposed to feel guilty your entire life. I'm talking about the guilt that tells you, hey, that little feeling you have in this, like, right here, wherever you hold it, like, that's just trying to communicate something with you. Let's go make that right. And that takes bravery to do that. I realize it takes bravery. It takes a strong back. It takes having a backbone to be able to do that. And it also takes having this soft front to be able to actually feel empathy and feel the pain you may have caused another person. Or maybe the pain that you feel most is the pain that you caused your former self, like you didn't make a decision that you wanted to. And having empathy for that, but knowing, like, from here on out, you can make a different decision. That, to me, is taking pride in our past and saying, hey, I was doing the best I could. I was in this situation, and I didn't know I had a different choice to make, but I do now. So guess what? I'm going to meet it. I'm going to meet it as best I can. It could be messy. I've never drawn a boundary with a family member before. It's really hard, but I'm going to do that now because I know that's what I need to do in order to have a good relationship. I have never actually, made a choice for my life where I put myself first above other people, because I felt that's a selfish thing to do, but I know this is what I need to do in this moment, because I can't continue to betray that self that I betrayed when I made decisions for other people and not myself. I'm not asking us to totally not take accountability for what has happened in the past. I'm actually asking us to take full accountability for everything that has happened in the past, and then do everything we can to make it right, even if that person we wronged was ourself. And maybe that's where we always have to start. Because for me, once I take pride in who I am, and once I'm able to transform my past so that I can reconcile some things that might still be operating within my system and still subtly creating my reality, through shame and over-identifying with things that have happened in the past. When I can transform that into no, I can take pride in who I am. I know I'm fundamentally good. I'm seen in the eyes of the divine, just like I see my son. Then everything I do from here on out, I know I also want to take pride in. Every little piece of work that I do, every relationship that I build, doesn't matter if I'm like a stay-at-home mom or in retirement and volunteering here at the church, or I'm just starting out a career. Like I want to take pride in the little things that I do on this planet. For this little time that I have, I want to be able to take pride in all of it. And I know that that's much easier to do when I've taken pride in who I am and I've taken pride in who I've been. Because I know that like from here on out, I want to continue to create a life that I can take pride in and take pride in the work that I'm a part of. There's a Japanese concept called shokunin. And it's this idea that like whatever you're doing, whatever art craft you're a part of, whatever job you do that well. And you do that 100%. And you make that like the thing that you perfect over a lifetime. But really all that is about is like no matter what you're doing, you take pride in that. You don't do it halfway. You give your all to it. Like every single one of us is putting our stamp in this life. In every relationship that we have, in every conversation that we have with a coworker, a friend, or family member, in everything that we create in the world, in every song that we write, in every little thing that we do, we're putting our stamp on it, right? My invitation to all of us, including myself, is that we take pride in the mark that we're leaving. And to know that like when we look back, like, yeah, like I feel good about that. It may not have been perfect because let's be real, nothing's ever perfect. But like I feel good. I brought my whole heart and my whole self to that. And that's something I can take pride in, right? So my invitation for all of us this week is to think about this idea of taking pride and to do so in a way that brings our present self, our past self, and our future self all together into this being that is completely worthy of being on the planet, that has something unique to offer the world, and is able to be both brave in meeting all of the challenges that our world faces, but doing so with an open heart that doesn't have to fight or protect, but allows us to be completely translucent, awake, alive, aware human beings on this planet, which is what I believe we're all being called to at this time. We are facing incredible challenges in our world right now at every level. But I believe that each one of us here has been prepared for that, and that human beings in general, we're pretty amazing creatures. That we've always had the ability to meet the challenges in front of us. And I don't believe we are any different right now. So I invite us to take whatever personal challenges that we are facing in our lives and whatever global challenges that we are witness to in the world, and to keep that strong back that allows us to say, hey, I can do this, but that soft front that also says, my heart's going to be open to it, and I'm going to be changed by it, and I'm going to allow my heart to also enter into this situation so that love can also be present here, which I still believe is the most powerful force in the universe. So let's take all of this and ground it in some prayer. So I'm going to invite us, wherever we are, whether we're sitting here in this amazing sanctuary or we're at home, to come into an awareness of your body and to begin to feel that strong back, that backbone that we have. And allow that tip of our head, like right at our crown chakra, to be pulled up towards the heavens. And feel that energetic pull that is so natural, that allows our spine to become just more aligned with the universe itself, then at the same time, feeling that bottom of our spine completely get rooted into the earth, being fully here, being fully present, being fully alive, human beings on this planet, fully incarnated, but fully spiritual at the same time. And feel the strength that you have, not just within yourself, but being supported by all of the heavenly beings, whatever we consider those to be. Being supported by that, but also being rooted into the earth itself, fully here, fully present to everything that is happening in our world, and knowing that we as human beings get to stand right in the middle of that. And at the same time, we feel the way in which our chest naturally opens. just softens a little bit, so that we can feel our heart pulsating into the world, and we can feel all of the other hearts around us, vibrating at that same level, and feeling that pulse just align with our own heartbeat as well. What we know is that this is what it is to be human. This is our spiritual identity, fully human and fully divine, all at the same time. And so as we just take a breath, we rest into that, knowing this is the most natural way of being. Fully alive, fully awake, fully aware, so that what I know for each and every person here is that any challenge that we are facing, that we can meet it with this sense of dignity, knowing that we are fully here, fully alive, fully awake, fully present to being able to meet whatever challenge we have, and that we allow ourselves to be softened by that as well. Fully able to meet it, not just with bravery, but with heart. Not just with courage, but with kindness and with love. And so I know that everything that is happening in our lives, whether those challenges are personal or global, that is happening for us, that is not against us, that our evolution, both personally and collectively, is happening in divine timing, in divine ways, in ways that we could never fully imagine for ourselves. And so we allow those lessons to come through. We allow the growth to happen within us, and we allow our lives to be this perfect, unfolding, beautiful miracle that we can truly stand in awe of and that we can take pride in. How good it is to be here now. We just give thanks for this precious life. And so it is. Amen.
You can be amazing, you can turn a phrase into a weapon or a drug. You can be the outcast or be the backlash of somebody's lack of love. Or you can start speaking up. Nothing's gonna hurt you the way the words do when they settle neath your skin. Kept on the inside, no sunlight, sometimes the shadow wins. But I wonder what would happen if you say what you want to say and let the words fall out. Honestly, I want to see you be brave with what you want to say and let the words fall out. Honestly, I want to see you be brave. I just want to see you, just want to see you. Everybody's been there, everybody's been stared down by the enemy, fallen from the fear and done some disappearing. Bow down to the mighty. Don't run. Stop holding your tongue. Maybe there's a way out of the cage where you live. Maybe one of these days you can let the light in. Show me how big your brave is. Say what you want to say and let the words fall out. Honestly, I want to see you be brave with what you want to say and let the words fall out. Honestly, I want to see you be brave. Innocence, your history of silence won't do you any good. Did you think it would? Watch your words be anything but empty. Why don't you tell them the truth? Say what you want to say and let the words fall out. Honestly, I want to see you be brave with what you want to say and let the words fall out. Honestly, I want to see you be brave. I just want to see you. I just want to see you. Just want to see you. I want to see you be brave. I just want to see you. I want to see you. See
Thank you. I need a moment here to recover from the message and the music. I don't know if anybody else feels the same way. Let's go ahead and say our purpose statement together. We commit hello to our online viewers. Thank you for being here with us now or in the future. We're grateful for your presence and your energy and your contribution. Now, in terms of taking pride, I know Mr. Earl Hauserman likes to play it low key, but I would really love for you, Earl, to stand up for a moment and just accept our thanks. And we did that together, led by Earl. And we just thank you so much, Earl. And this was done in an amazing amount of time, like an hour and a half. We're amazing. The gathering of singers will start August the 24th. So please help us make a joy-filled noise. Come out and sing with us. All the details for this and everything else are in your Thursday weekly email update. Links and all that. Back to school. As you saw some of the faces of the kids when they were up here, when they got reminded that school was going to be starting. So we're going to lighten that a little bit. We're going to do a back to school ice cream social again this year. So that'll be August 27th, a Sunday right after our service in Foss Hall. Oktoberfest. We are coming up quickly on Oktoberfest, and we are seeking donations for this. And this is something where you can, again, whatever works for your life, whether you can bring a bottle of wine, whether you have a fantastic mountain cabin that you can share for a weekend or something like that, or many things in between. Details, again, in the weekly email update. But this is something where I always like to remind us that no one can do everything, but everyone can do something. And so whatever your capability is at this point, please consider that as we prepare for this. This is our major fun and fundraiser for the year. The fall book study will launch very soon, and we are seeking a few more facilitators. And in case you're kind of wondering, like, well, what does that entail? You get a full study guide. You don't have to read the whole book and make up your own curriculum. Don't worry about that. So what you do need to do is have a willingness to open your home and to invite people in to participate for this 7-week series. And you choose the dates. You choose the day of the week and the time of day. And one or two might also be on Zoom. But please consider that. If you have questions, talk to me or talk to Reverend Sue about that. This is a really fabulous way for you to get to know people better in the small groups. Your Board of Trustees meets today, so share ideas, compliments, and solutions. If you see something that's not working the way that you like, please offer a solution. And they are happy to hear that in Foss Hall for about a half an hour after the service. And who are our prayer chaplains today? Beth. Oh, we have three, Beth and Betsy and Lydia. A real trifecta for us. Thank you so much. And they are very well trained and have such big hearts. And I also just wanted to say, in terms of taking pride, that we all really are fantastic. We're doing so many wonderful things here, and we are working through some things that need to be addressed. And I just think we should give ourselves a pat on the back. And let's stand for our peace song.
Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be your home now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away.